Good morning children. This is class 10th, subject English, chapter 11, The Proposal, written by Anton Chekhov, and this is my lecture 1. This chapter is the last chapter of First Flight book. Let us read the topics that today we are going to cover in this lecture. First of all, chapter sketch. After that, we shall read about the main characters of this chapter, about the character. And at last, we shall read overview of the chapter, means overall summary of this chapter. So, let us begin with chapter sketch, means the introduction of this chapter, the proposal. This is the 11th chapter, written by Anton Chekhov. Now let us start the chapter sketch. The proposal is a one-act play by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov. The play is set in a rural countryside of Russia. A long-time wealthy neighbor of Stepan Chubukov, Ivan Lomov, comes to seek the hand of Stepan's daughter Natalia. As three of them are very proud and quarrelsome, they start fighting over petty issues. So the proposal of marriage is made finally, but the quarreling continues. So in this chapter we are going to read about these three characters. Anton Chekhov has given a detailed description of the marriage. Its theme is based on two people who love each other by fighting. It is a story about Stepanovich Chubukov and his neighbor Lomov. Natalia is the daughter of Chubukov. So let us move ahead. Now let us read about the characters. First is Stepan Stepanovich Chubukov. He is a landowner and the father of a young girl named Natalia. Second main character is Natalia. She is a young girl. She is fuzzy and argumentative. Next is Ivan Vasilievich Lomov. He is a young man who wishes to marry Natalia. He is also very argumentative. So these are the main characters of this chapter, proposal. So after introduction of the chapter and the main characters, let us read the overview of this chapter heading wise. So let us start. Let us read the first heading. It is Lomov and Chubukov meet. So the play begins with the scene set in Chubukov's house. Lomov comes there and meets Chubukov. Chubukov is extremely happy to meet him. He asks him to sit down and also inquires why he was wearing an evening dress. Lomov tells him that he has come there with a purpose. There was a special purpose for his coming. He tells him that he wants to request him about something. But suddenly he gets excited. So Lomov in a formal evening dress comes to visit Chubukov, and he is so excited about the purpose of his visit that he beats around the bushes rather than saying his purpose. Next heading, Lomov asks for Natalia's hand. This was actually his purpose to visit Chubukov's house. Chubukov feels that he must have come to borrow money from him as he had already many times borrowed. Lomov starts to speak and talks about random things. Finally, he tells him that he has come there to ask for Natalia's hand. Chubukov gets excited at hearing this. So, after gathering courage, Lomov finally speaks up to Chubukov that he has come to ask for Natalia, his daughter's hand, in marriage. So, to this, Chubukov becomes very happy. Now, let us read Chubukov's reaction to the proposal. Chubukov gets so happy that he starts to behave idiotically. He hugs Lomov and kisses him. Lomov asks Chubukov that he wants his consent for the marriage. Chubukov tells him that he was always hoping that he would come to ask for Natalia's hand. Means Chubukov got very happy, became very happy at the proposal of Lomov, and even he called Natalia. And Lomov asks Chubukov whether she will accept his proposal. Then Chubukov consoles him by saying that she is like a lovesick cat and she will definitely accept his proposal. So this was a reaction of Chubukov. Next heading, Lomov's thoughts about Natalia. Lomov starts trembling due to overexcitement. He says that if he would have looked for a perfect partner, he would have never got one and would have remained unmarried because he was already about 30. He feels that Natalia is a good housekeeper. He says that she is not bad looking and is very well educated. He feels he is already too old to get married and now he should lead a quiet and regular life. He starts to jump like a mad person. So Lomov thinks that Natalia is an amazing housekeeper, educated and beautiful, and now he should not miss this opportunity of getting married at the age of 35. Now he wanted to lead a quiet and regular life. Now next heading, it is talk between Lomov and Natalia. Natalia comes and asks Lomov why he had not come there for a long time. She informs Lomov about the harvest. She asks him why he was dressed in an evening dress and inquired if he was going to a ball. So Lomov comes to Chubukov's house to propose Natalia. Then Chubukov called Natalia. Natalia comes and she inquires that why he was wearing evening dress, was whether he was going to a party. So before Lomov told Natalia his purpose for the visit, they were off the point. He starts telling her that he has known his family for a very long time. He also tells her how he inherited his land and how he respects her father. He tells Natalia that his oxen meadows touch Natalia's birchwood. On hearing this, Natalia says that the oxen meadows are theirs. Means now they start discussing their oxen meadows. Natalia says the oxen meadows were theirs, and Lomo said that oxen meadows were theirs. So there was a dispute between them. Now next heading, it is Lomov's claim of oxen meadows. Natalia gets serious and tells him that oxen meadows do not belong to him. They actually belonged to them. Lomov clarifies that he is talking about the oxen meadows that are between her birchwood and burnt marsh. Natalia insists that they are theirs. Lomov refuses it. He tells her that his aunt's grandmother gave those meadows to her father's grandfather. The peasants used the land for 40 years. So here we have read that Lomov and Natalia, they both quarrel over the piece of a land that was oxen meadows. Fine. And Lomov starts talking how their families had good relations over many decades, and also his oxen meadows touch their birchwood. So Natalia opposes Lomov's claim of calling oxen meadows his, as the meadows belongs to her family. So they both quarrel over the ownership of the oxen meadows. Lomov goes out after listening to the insults of her family. Natalia and Lomov quarrel. Natalia refuses and sticks on her point that those meadows are theirs. Lomov, on the other hand, says that he has the documents to prove that it is his land. Natalia tells him that they had that land for nearly 300 years now. Both of them, Natalia and Lomov, continue fighting over the ownership of the land. Lomov offers to make a present of them to Natalia. She also says that she can make a present of them to him. They start shouting at each other. So, in this way, they both quarrel over the ownership of the oxen meadows. Natalia said that oxen meadows were theirs, but Lomov said that he had documents with him to prove that it was only land. Chubukov takes Natalia's side. Chubukov also enters the room. Natalia asks him to tell Lomov that the oxen meadows are owned by them. Chubukov also supports Natalia and regards the meadows as theirs. Lomov refuses. Chubukov says that by shouting, Lomov cannot prove that the oxen meadows are owned by him. He accuses Lomov by saying that he cannot talk to him so disrespectfully as he is twice of his age. Lomov says that he is calling his land as his and wants him to speak to him politely. So Chubukov enters the room, and he also takes Natalia's favor, Natalia's side, because Chubukov was Natalia's father. He also said that oxen meadows were theirs. calls Chubukov a land grabber. Lomov threatens that he would take Chubukov to the court. A lot of abuses are exchanged between them. Chubukov says that Lomov's grandfather was a drunkard. His younger aunt Nastasia ran away with an architect. Lomov felt that he was dying, so he could not say anything at that time. Natalia also calls Lomov a rascal. Chubukov calls him a villain and a scarecrow. He also calls him a monster who has the courage to propose. Means Chubukov enters the drawing room and gets angry on how Lomov dared to come with marriage proposal for his daughter and insulted him afterwards. Next heading is Natalia gets to know the proposal. As soon as Lomov leaves their home, Chubukov tells Natalia that he came to propose her. Hearing the word propose, Natalia inquires him. Chubukov tells him that Lomov had come there to propose Natalia for marriage. Hearing this, Natalia starts crying. She asks Chubukov to bring Lomov back at once. When she came to know after knowing about the proposal, Natalia becomes sad and repents for the fight she picked up with Lomov. So Chubukov goes out to call Lomov because she asks Chubukov to bring Lomov back at once. Another fight over the dogs. So now Lomov enters again. Natalia begs to be excused. They shift their talks to the dogs as Natalia tells him that the Oxen meadows are his. They now talk about the dogs. Lomov tells Natalia that he has purchased his best dog in 125 rubles. Natalia says that it is too much. She tells him that her father had given just 85 rubles for the Squeezer, her dog. Squeezer was the name of Natalia's dog. And here Natalia first of all calms down Lomov by saying that the Oxen meadows belongs to him. But Lomov is still disturbed and therefore he starts praising his dog Guess. So Guess is the dog of Lomov that he purchased for 125 rubles. She says Squeezer is better than his dog. Lomov refuses and says that his lower jaw is shorter than his upper jaw. Natalia says that Squeezer is of the finest pedigree. They both continue fighting over the breed of their dogs. Chubukov enters and inquires about the matter. Chubukov also says that Lomov's dog is old and short. So now the topic of quarrel was actually dog. So Natalia says that her dog Squeezer, which she purchased for 85 rubles, is better than his dog Guess. So they both start fighting over the qualities of their dog. And in the same way Chubukov takes the side of Natalia. Now Lomov falls unconscious. Lomov suddenly falls. Natalia asks her father what has happened to him. Chubukov thinks that he has difficulty in breathing. Natalia says that she feels Lomov is dead. Chubukov then calls for water as well as a doctor. Chubukov asks Lomov to marry Natalia. Chubukov seems helpless. He starts accusing himself. He asks for a knife and a pistol. He calls himself the most unhappy of men. Lomov starts reviving. Lomov says he sees stars. He asks where he is. Chubukov says that he should hurry up and marry Natalia. He also tells him that she is willing to marry him. Natalia becomes extremely happy on hearing this. Chubukov also feels happy and offers some champagne for this occasion. So, after a few minutes, Lomov regains his consciousness, and without missing this opportunity, Chubukov tells him that Natalia is ready to marry him. He asks them to get married, and later they playfully debate over their dog's qualities again. So at last they were ready to get married. Now homework time. Homework is to read the chapter thoroughly and find out the answers of textual questions. Now we are going to read those questions. I hope you have understood this chapter. Now let us read the questions. First question. What does Chubukov at first suspect that Lomov has come for? Is he sincere when he later says, "And I have always loved you, my angel, as if you were my own son"? So find reasons for your answer from the play. Second question. Chubukov says of Natalia as if she won't consent. She is in love, yet she is like a lovesick cat. Would you agree? Find reasons for your answers. Third question. Which qualities are common in all three characters of the play, The Proposal? Fourth question. How does Lomov come to Chubukov's house, and what for does he come? Next is, how is he received? Now, next question and last one. How does Chubukov react when Lomov says that he has come to ask for the hand of his daughter? So these are 5 questions. So you are supposed to read the chapter thoroughly and find out the answers of these questions and write these answers in your notebook and send me at my email address. Thank you.